This resort is for the folks who just want to live their life out loud, okay? And live their and be their true authentic selves, whoever that is. If for any reason you cannot control yourself from being judgmental, then you need to stay home, okay?
They show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit to your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Deja G here, and I am so excited to be back with another hotel review, okay? Because y'all know this is my jam, all right? I love traveling. I love talking about resorts. This is just my jam, y'all. So let's get into it. Today we are talking about the Temptation Cancun Resort. Now, y'all, I'll be lying if I said I didn't try to film this video multiple times, and for good reason. I just keep getting sidetracked. It's so much to talk about. There's so much to go into in terms of like things you need to know, things I just want to talk about. Yeah, so let me start off by saying that this is probably one of the spiciest hotels I've ever been to, and I use that word spicy to say that it is a very sexy vibe. Like, it is adults only. Folks are out there living their best lives, and it's known as, and they have coined the term, it's an adult playground. So when you think of those two words together, they sound spicy, right? Adult playground, yes, and that's exactly what you're gonna get when you book this hotel. So I think initially when I was trying to review this hotel, I kept going back and forth with how do I compare this to other all-inclusive resorts? And I have come to the conclusion after multiple attempts, you cannot compare this resort to other resorts. So I'm not gonna do that. What I'm going to do is just really put this in a category of its own, because that's what it is. It is a different hotel with a different vibe, different energy, and I think a different mission, right? You know, you go to an all-inclusive resort and most of them, I mean, for the most part, are all pretty much the same. You have your entertainment, you have this, you have that, you know, you have the food, you have room service, you know, you have all of those things, you just check the box. But what this hotel does different is the adult playground piece. So with that being said, I think if you're looking for a really good and spicy time, this is the place to go. So I say that because, you know, my husband and I have been to this hotel before, and we traveled there about 6-7 years ago, and I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into when we booked it. We thought, okay, adults only, topless optional, no big deal, you know. And when we got there, we realized that it's a whole different lifestyle, y'all. Like, I mean, you have that swingers culture, you know, the upside down pineapple. I learned all about it on this trip, okay, y'all. They were schooling me on all this stuff, but so, you know, you have a whole different lifestyle, right? And that last trip, when we first visited, we did not know that going into it. So I was kind of shocked. For the first 2-3 days, I just couldn't even get myself together. I was just like, why are we here? This is too much. It's overwhelming. And it's not my vibe, right? But then once I kind of just keeping it 100, once I stopped being judgmental, and I relaxed a little bit and was just like, you know what? Just because these folks have this type of fun doesn't mean that I have to, you know, partake in it. And then also, it ain't none of my business. Once I kind of, you know, developed that mindset, it changed my experience completely all those years ago. And my husband and I, we had a ball. We had such a good time. So this time around when we booked it, you know, I mean, we hadn't been back in 6-7 years either. It was a lot. But this time around when we booked it, we purposely booked it for the experience, right? And what we wanted was a really fun time. And I knew that this hotel had been renovated recently. And with that renovation, I started like doing all my research, and I could tell that the vibe of the trip had changed significantly. So it wasn't so heavy on the swingers lifestyle. It was more so like the adult playground, fun, 24 hours, 7 days a week party vibe. And so you would, like, you know, from the research I was doing, there were a lot of bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, birthdays, like, you know, groups of guys, groups of girls, couples also going, but it wasn't just strictly like more lifestyle based, you know? So I think the first time we went, it was more lifestyle based, and this time when we went, it was like totally different. So yeah, we had a ball, as you guys can see, and you know, just kind of, that's a spoiler alert, right? You know, everything I'm going to talk about from here on out is just going to explain, like, you know, what we did while we were there, how the food was, you know, things like that. I'm gonna just talk about all of that. Now, I wish I had as much footage as I usually try to get of a resort when I'm traveling there, especially if I know that I'm gonna make a review video. I usually try to kind of get like all the footage of like the grounds and things like that. But I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. It was hard to do that because cameras are not a thing there. And I have to say that I love that. I loved it because, you know, far too often when you travel, especially when you're with your friends or anyone, everyone has their camera out the whole time. They're taking pictures, they're doing this, they're doing that. And so you kind of lose sight of the moment, right? You don't get a chance to really be fully immersed into the moment and the fun that you're having because you're like, let me get this for Instagram, or let me take this for that, or let me make a TikTok. You know, it's like you're more so focused on capturing the moment versus experiencing the moment. And because they have a no camera rule at their main pool where all of the events happen throughout the day, it kind of, you know, makes it so that you have to fully immerse yourself into it. Like, you know, you really can't be out there on Instagram the whole time because they will come over there and tap you on your shoulder and let you know, hey, no cameras allowed. The sexy pool is exactly what it sounds like, you know? And it's just a party. Like, I'm talking, I don't even know what time the party started every day, but it was pretty early. I know my husband and I tried to get up early every morning to get our seats like close to the pool. And every single morning, all of the seats that like lined the pool were already taken by like 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's like, folks be prepping, like they be ready. So that's the one tip I can give you, is that get out there early to get your seats, because you're going to want a front seat, a front row view of all of the action. Okay, it's lit. It's worth you getting up at 6 a.m. to reserve a seat. I also think, and my husband and I discovered this on the last night, we actually think that you can maybe even like, you know, hook the towel guys up, because they're out there pretty early, but you can hook them up and they'll reserve your seat for you. As soon as they come out, they'll put the towel down for you, but you just gotta probably take care of them and they'll look you out, which is, I mean, if we would have figured that out on the first night, that's probably what we would have done, just because it would have been well worth it. Because every day we got denied. Every day we were like, oh no, we early today. And it was like, no. So the sexy pool is lit. It's all types of events going on all day. They have an outstanding activity staff, okay? And their activity team is like beautiful, okay? They are all gorgeous. The girls, the women, they're beautiful. I'm talking from all over different places. Everyone wasn't from like Cancun, Mexico. They were from everywhere. In fact, one of the guys we met was from New Jersey. So, you know, it was just pretty cool to see that they're, you know, just from all over. So yeah, but they're all like I said, beautiful people. The guys are in shape, the women are in shape. Like it's just a vibe, okay? And so all day long they do all these different activities that are really, really fun. And one of the days, they had like an obstacle course, and part of the obstacle course included the guys had to like swim under, like the women had to stand there like, and then the guys would swim under them, then come up and kiss one girl, then swim under the next and kiss the next girl. Yes, okay, side note, this is the first hotel that I've traveled to since the pandemic started where I did not feel like we were in a pandemic, okay? This was the first time and it was refreshing. Some people were wilding because, I mean, y'all know you gotta get that negative test before you come back. So I was a little fearful of that, like with how wild folks were, but we made it back, guys. We didn't get stuck, so it was all good. But we also weren't like participating in those activities either. We were watching, but we weren't participating. But anywho, so like some of the activities are like that. And then like if you lost, if you were, you know, competing against someone else, then they would take, like, especially if it was a guy, they would take his shorts and then throw it up on the roof of the pool bar. So it was crazy, guys, and I wish I could have filmed it for you, but I guess you'll just have to go there to see it, to witness it yourself. But they have a DJ all day. The bartenders are outstanding. They're making all kind of drinks, anything you want. They're very quick. It's not going to be a long wait. The service is top tier at the pool bar. And the pool, the setup of the pool is awesome because they have all these like little jacuzzis too. They're actually pretty large actually. So in the midst of the pool, you also have jacuzzi areas where you can kind of sit down and chill. They also have like the tanning beds or like the loungers that are in the pool too, because I mean, you know, Cancun is always hot. It's always hot there. So I thought that was nice. They also have the option you can rent cabanas. They're very pricey, but you can use the cost of the cabana to purchase alcohol. So if you want to do like bottle service, basically I think the larger cabana was like $1,000, but you had to pretty much, I mean, you had to spend $1,000 worth of liquor at an all-inclusive. So I don't know how purposeful that is, but if you are there with a bunch of your friends, it might be worth it, you know, just to have like that front row action, you know, seat. And I get it, but I also don't get it. So I don't know, because you could just like sit in a regular lounger and be chilling too and not spending an extra dollar and still drinking the whole time. So I don't know, it's really personal preference. In addition to that, you have the quiet pool, right? So you have the sexy pool where all the events are going on all day. They have a food stand right outside. They make hamburgers, hot dogs all day long. So you can always get food, right? And then they also have the quiet pool, which is quiet. And every time I walk past that pool, it was empty. So I don't know. I'm sure people actually go to the quiet pool because everyone doesn't want to party 24/7. But in my mind, why would you go to this resort if you don't want to party 24/7? But anywho, I digress. That's just my opinion. But so yeah, so you have the quiet pool, the sexy pool, and then you have the rest of the resort. So there are multiple restaurants on site. They're like a la carte restaurants that you can eat at night. It's all inclusive. So my husband and I did go to 2 restaurants. We went to the Italian restaurant, which was really good, and then we also went to the seafood restaurant. I believe it was seafood. I don't remember. I was a little tipsy that night, guys, and we ended up going to dinner in our swimwear. We were just like very hungry, and my husband had like a collar shirt that he had wore over his swim trunks, so we just finessed our way right in there for dinner. So I can't tell you, because that was a really good day. It was our last night there. I can't really tell you how good the food was. I honestly don't remember. I just remember we had a ball that day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, when it comes to the food is great. There's always food everywhere you go, 24/7. Every like party that they had at night, there was also food. Also going into the entertainment piece. So they do have theme parties every single night. And honestly, it's just another reason to wear some lingerie, because that's all everybody had on. The guys had on like fishnet stuff, the girls had on fishnet. Nobody had on clothes the whole damn time we were there. I'm just gonna put that out there. We were overdressed. I had like cute little dresses and stuff. We were completely overdressed, okay? But I say that to say, like, if you ever have any fantasies of like dressing up and doing a damn thing, I mean, guys, this is the place to go, and this is the time to do it. So they had like one theme that was like burning sand. So that, I guess it was like music festival vibes. Like, you know how folks dress at Coachella and stuff like that. People were dressed like that. But honestly, I just think everybody just had on like thong bikinis and like fishnets. That was it. That was all I saw when we came out. And it was just like, oh, okay. Obviously I'm overdressed tonight. I think I had on pants that night. I think I had on pants that night. But yeah, guys, it was wild. It was wild. But absolutely fun. And the parties at night went all night long. I know the second night I was just exhausted because we had just been going. And so we slept in, and I think around maybe like 1 a.m. we woke up, or 12 o'clock. And so we were like, you know what? We could still hear the music because our room was fairly close to like the sexy pool area, like the party area. And so we just still got dressed and we went out. And I'm telling you, everyone was out there like it was 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and no one's tired. They still had the food station set up. Like I said, this is one of this is probably the one resort that I've been to where I was never hungry or never had a fear that like, oh my gosh, I gotta eat before this restaurant closes, because there was always food available at all times, which I loved. So yeah, and the party was still going, and people were out there like they had just started the party, and I'm like, dang, I'm still tired. I just woke up tired, and I just decided to show my face because I'm like, we're only gonna be here 3 nights. Let's just go. But needless to say, I only made it out for like an hour, and then we went back to bed because I was just exhausted, guys. I was exhausted. I mean, because you're at the party pool all day long. Then you get dinner, you get I guess take a quick nap and then, you know. But but the entertainment is top tier. If you like music, you like dancing, you're gonna get a lot of that. They do play a lot of I would say top 100 music. They also play like the techno, like you know, but it's not only that. They do play hip hop, they play pop, they play a mixture of everything. Like, I didn't feel like I hated the music the whole time. I'm not gonna say it was all my vibes, but it never is when I stay at a resort. I mean, it's very rare that you go, unless you're in Jamaica, where they're gonna play all the music that like is specific to like what I like. But yeah, I thought they did a great job with the music. They had some great DJs for each party. What else? I don't have anything else to say about the entertainment. If I was rating it, I would give it a 5 out of 5. Honestly, 10 out of 10 would recommend, okay? Especially if you just want to have a good time and live your best life, you know? So the other thing I would have to say is what I did notice this time around is it was, and I said that we booked this hotel because I knew going into it there were a lot more like groups going here now, and it's not just necessarily like the swinger vibe, but there are still swingers swinging, you know? It's still that vibe. So if that is what you're going for, and you and your spouse are looking to meet some other people, you absolutely will have the option to do that. And I guess I caution that with like, if you're not into that, I think every single person you meet, you might be a little hesitant, like, hey, are they just trying to say hi and be nice, or are they trying to like, you know, get to know me a little bit better? You know, you just got to be very mindful of that, because folks are out there to meet each other. So but not everyone is, and if that's not what you're into, great. Now the other thing I do want to caution, and this is a big disclaimer, if for any reason you cannot control yourself from being judgmental, then you need to stay home, okay? If you're going to be judgmental at all, I'm saying you're gonna be judging what people are wearing, you're gonna be wondering why people are doing this or acting this way, this is not the place for you, because I think the beauty of this resort is that everyone is just living their best uninhibited life. And so you don't want to be the one there with a stick up your butt. Like, you know, if that's your vibe, then you should go to a regular all-inclusive. Even if it's an adults only, go there and do your thing. Don't come to this resort. This resort is for the folks who just want to live their life out loud, okay? And live their and be their true authentic selves, whoever that is. So yeah, so I say it for that, you know, say that to say that. We did see quite a few different things that like surprised me, for sure. Like I said, we went knowing, you know, my husband and I don't partake in the lifestyle. I'm sure you guys are probably like, well, are you into it? This is your second time there. No, that's not our thing. However, we don't judge those who do. Like, it's none of our business. Like, hey, live your best life, okay? But while we were there, we did witness some very interesting things. So one of them, and I'm just sharing this because I want you to know what type of spicy time you're getting yourself into. So one of the things, I think the first night we were there, we were on our way to the first party at night, and we had walked around the sexy pool, and we were walking up a ramp. There's like a ramp that takes you up to the main floor, where like their like dance floor, like nightclub area is. It's like an outdoor kind of vibe. Anyway, so we're walking up the ramp, and there's rooms right there, like right next to the ramp. There's like all of these rooms, and you can see right into people's rooms if they don't have their blackout shade down. And as we were walking up, there's a full couple, I mean like a whole couple, just getting it in, y'all. If y'all know what I mean, I'm talking getting it in, putting on a show. They had that shade all the way up, and they were like, oh yeah, this is your business tonight. They were sharing their experience. It was wild. I felt guilty for even like noticing that was going on, but that was the purpose. They were literally, it was like the red light district. Like, are we in Amsterdam or no? Like, just tell me, like, is this Amsterdam? But anywho, folks are there having their best, living their best life, but you don't typically see that kind of stuff happening like out in the open. They don't encourage you to be just doing the most like in the common areas. Okay. So next up, I actually want to start talking about, let's see, the grounds. The hotel is beautiful. It's yeah, it's beautiful. All the restaurants are really nicely designed. The grounds are gorgeous. It's very well kept. All the pools were beautiful. They were clean. They do have a lot of timeshare things that they kind of are always selling and stuff. So a lot of folks get suckered into the timeshare, but I've heard repeatedly that it's not worth it. I don't know. I wasn't interested. I mean, yes, it's fun to go a couple times here and there, but I don't think I want to actually purchase a membership just because, I mean, it's just not for me. But if that's what you're into, just make sure you don't say yes the first time, because you know they give you the highest price the first time and then they say the second time, third time. By the time you walk out of there, they're gonna make you like 7 offers. You take the last one because that's probably gonna be the best deal. But anywho, so yeah, so they do have timeshares, and so if you purchase the timeshare, then you are considered, I think, a black member or something. I don't know. So you get a different bracelet. You can sit in a different area. You have access to a different bar. You know, like stuff like that. So there are some amenities that you do have access to that folks who are just regular, like, I guess, travelers who are just visiting there don't have access to. So yeah, so that's that. They also have special rooms too that I think that you can stay in. So like upgraded rooms, they have like some really interesting like rooms, larger rooms and all that stuff. So depending on what kind of party you're trying to entertain, you might be able to get like the penthouse, okay? So our room, when we booked, we ended up getting like the basic room, and that was because we booked our trip 2 weeks out and that was all that was available at the time. I definitely would have preferred to stay in a newer room. Our room was very basic. It was nothing else, no frills, you know, very basic, nothing wrong with it. No complaints here. It was clean every day. They came in and we had room service and, you know, everything was good. But it was just a very like no frills kind of room. Like I'm not gonna be like ranting and raving about how amazing the room is, but it really doesn't need to be amazing because the whole purpose of you staying there is to not be in the room because there's parties 24/7. So I would equate my experience at this hotel to Vegas. So the exact same way you feel about going to Vegas, about how you only probably need like 3-4 days in Vegas max, because that's all you really can, you know, do at a time. But it's the same way with this resort. So yeah, so I say that to just stress that, you know, just know you're not going to spend a lot of time in the room. But if we go back, or whenever we go back, because we probably will, because we had a ball, we had so much fun, we probably will try to get a better room and book it a little bit further out. I don't know, but if we don't, we're still cool with the basic room too. So yeah, so as far as the grounds, great. The rooms, great, good enough, let's just say. But like I said, we stayed in a basic room. And then the food was good. I wouldn't say I had the most amazing meals the entire time I was there, but I definitely would say that I was always fed and I never felt like the food was terrible or anything like that. So I was very satisfied. So my overall experience at this hotel was 10 out of 10, would absolutely recommend, and I cannot wait to plan a trip with all of my friends to go back. That's how much fun my husband and I had together. I do caution that you can't take all your friends somewhere like that, because there's got to be some friends you're comfortable with, okay? Because they may see you in a different light, you may see them in a different light, you know? So just be mindful of that if you are booking like group trips, because you may have some friends in your crew that just like to, you know, do the most, and you got to be able to like trust them to do what they do and mind your business, you know. That is my full review of Temptation Cancun. I know I feel like I glossed over so much and I didn't have as much footage as I really wish I had because I wasn't allowed to really film anything, but I do say that if you're looking for a very spicy time with your friends, with your spouse, with whomever, with yourself, I highly recommend this resort, and I think that you will have a good time, but you got to go in there without being any sort of judgmental, and you definitely got to go in there just wanting to have a great time. And I absolutely believe that you would have to try hard not to have a good time. That's how lit it is. And so that is my review for Temptation Cancun. And I'm so glad that you guys stuck around to watch it. And if you made it all the way to the end, yes, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have lots more coming. Thank you guys. Bye. I will see you later.
You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. So much better.